Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. Today, we are talking about what your aura color love match is. Have you been looking for love in all the wrong aura places? Well, we're going to talk about what each aura color brings to the table in a partnership. But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
All right, so what's your aura color love match, Scott?
All
There's
right.
only one right answer.
Yes, of course. Purple and indigo.
Right.
That is the match for me.
Yes, good.
But if you don't know your match, we do have a quiz.
We do.
At knowyouroar.com, you created this quiz. This is basically to tell you what the perfect color is for you, right?
Yeah.
In love, right?
Yes.
I, of course, took this quiz.
Yeah.
And, I'm not going to say what I got right now. I'm going to say at the end.
Okay.
But maybe we do a couple questions together.
All right.
And not all, because I think there's like 10.
Yeah.
That would just take too long. But let's do like the first one or two of them. Okay.
Okay. So here we go. What is your ideal date night dinner? All right. Everybody at home, you take this too.
Okay. You're asking me this,
Like
right?
you're taking, someone on a date.
Okay.
Hopefully me.
Okay.
What's your ideal date night dinner?
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Steakhouse.
Steak. Okay. So I'm taking you to the steakhouse?
Yeah. You're taking someone to a steakhouse.
I mean,
Oh,
I would
are you
say,
going to go through each one? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk it through. We're going to
Okay.
talk
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I would prefer going to the bagel shop.
Well, that's cheap.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
As a date, like you want to
Oh.
impress someone.
A pizza?
Anyways,
Okay.
I'll cook for you.
No, I don't know how to cook.
Seafood at a quiet place.
Okay, see, I love
Oh.
seafood,
Oh.
but
Too
I'm assuming
expensive.
if you're my date.
Too much money.
No.
Bagel shop it is.
I was gonna say that
Am I allowed to get cream cheese on my bagel? Or should it just be plain sliced?
butter. You can get butter. Because butter is like 20 cents cheaper than the cream cheese.
Exactly.
I was just saying you don't like seafood.
Sure. I'm
Okay.
not. Okay.
Okay.
That's the
Next
reason.
one. All right,
That's
next
the
one.
reason.
Next one.
Burgers and beer. Sounds like that's something you
Well,
could do.
But yeah, but I'm allergic to beer. I'm
Just
allergic.
burgers and
I like
soda.
I don't drink soda anymore.
Okay, burgers and I guess this is all about you.
What's the next one?
Okay. Fast food binge on the beach.
The food's gonna get sandy.
Yeah, that's
no,
that's
not for
super nice.
me.
It's way too messy for you.
One time we ate a pizza on the beach.
You're not
and
adaptable
that wasn't
enough for
great.
that.
Yeah,
You can't handle that.
I'm not adaptable.
Let's do dessert.
Okay.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
yes,
oh.
that sounds so
Oh, I thought
you.
you- I thought-
Exactly.
I thought you were asking me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's right up your alley. Get some cones from McDonald's drive-through.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Food truck hotspot.
I do
It's
not
all about
like,
you, dude.
I do not like the food truck.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why I don't like the food truck. Because you got to stand, and I don't like to usually where are you going to sit? And
Well,
they have very
are you dating yourself?
They have very
What-
limited seating.
Maybe your date likes that.
Yeah.
Maybe your date's like, this is just, oh my gosh, there's this food truck. we have to go.
Right. All right. What's
All
that?
right.
Okay.
They might not get a second date with you. Michelin star restaurant. We know that's a no for you.
No, no. That is
Too expensive.
No, it's not too expensive. I would pay for it. It's just too uppity for me.
All right.
I don't like. I'd probably have to wear like a jacket to that. a
Yes.
tie.
Oh, you don't like. You don't.
And
like
I'm not
that.
doing that.
Yeah.
I don't care how good the food is.
So which one are you picking?
Well, I'm going to hold off on my.
Okay, you're gonna hold off.
because I already
Okay.
actually took the quiz.
All right. Let's do one more.
All right, do one more.
Let's
Okay.
do one more. Okay.
One more.
So this one is. Let's see. Oh, how affectionate do you want your partner to be?
Okay.
All right. First one is lots of PDA. That's public displays of affection.
I'm not. I don't like the PDA.
Yeah.
I'm not for the PDA.
Okay.
I think it could be too much.
Oh, is that why you shoved me off of you when I'm just standing a little too close?
Sometimes.
Joking. He doesn't do that. All right. The next one is I'm little spoon, they're big spoon.
Okay, I'm the little spoon. So that means that person's over me?
You're little spoon.
I'm the little
they're
spoon?
big spoon.
They're the big spoon.
You can switch it around if you want.
Can I be the big spoon?
Sure.
What about the fork?
Sure, Scott. It's getting weird.
Okay, next one.
Don't touch me when I'm busy.
Don't touch me when I'm busy. I mean, sometimes you got to do things. You got to get things done.
I'm talking about, all right, let me set the stage for you. Not marriage 23 years into this, like
Right.
we're doing here.
Yeah.
I'm including since we met. I am talking about you just met them. Like you're 2 months in, all
Okay.
right? So
So you better not be busy, you're saying.
Yeah, so like if somebody's like the throes of new passion, are you don't touch me when I'm busy? Some people are.
Oh, okay.
All right. Next one. Behind closed doors only.
Not sure what that means. Like you're very private.
Like private.
Private.
Like lady in the streets.
What?
Freak in the sheets.
Lady in the street. I've never heard that one.
That's a song.
Is that by Chapel Rowan?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know that one.
Okay, anyways.
I'm going to pass on that one.
I like it to stay spicy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't like spicy food.
Yeah, that's true. You're not good with that.
But I have been getting better with the spicy food. So maybe that one.
All right. Giving gifts is how I show love.
Yeah, okay.
Nope.
No.
Okay. Words.
I didn't know this was the roast quiz of Scotty.
Giving
The
bagels.
roast.
Giving bagels is how I show love. Words of affirmation is how I show love. Like, I love you.
Yeah.
You're so amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that.
Spoil me.
I don't need to be spoiled.
You don't need to be
I
spoiled.
don't like to be spoiled.
You don't like to be spoiled? No, you don't.
No.
All right. Which one are you picking?
Well, I'm gonna hold
You're
on.
gonna hold off. You're gonna hold off. Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you what I got.
What did you get? Oh, you
Okay,
took
so
the quiz. What
I
did you
took
get?
the entire quiz.
Yes.
Yesterday, and I got red.
Oh, you got yourself. That makes so much sense.
Of course, I got blue.
Yeah.
I got your color.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
For the quiz, blue. If you get blue, that could be indigo too. I had to combine them. Sorry, but yeah.
And
all right, so that's me. I got red. I got red. I got you.
This is perfect.
I know. We're meant to be.
We're perfect. We go to the bagel shop.
Yeah,
we get a bagel.
I know.
Only butter.
Only butter.
No cream cheese.
No seafood restaurant for me.
You don't like seafood. So,
That's true.
So don't mislead the audience. Don't mislead them.
I'm a cheap date at the seafood place. I get chicken
That's
fingers.
true. We don't go out for seafood often, but you are.
I'm a cheap date.
Yes, you're a very cheap date at the seafood restaurant. All right.
Which is why we're together today.
So what you're basically saying is if you like lobster and
Like
shrimp,
on our first date,
this
if
wouldn't
I
have
was
worked.
like lobster, shrimp,
Yeah.
shrimp cocktail, side salad, you'd just be like, no.
Well, our first date was at TGIF, and I don't think you want to get the shrimp or the lobster there.
I got the chicken fingers.
We got the chicken finger. It was funny. We were thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
Just go off on a tangent here, and you know, like we were talking about who pays on a first date, and I'm like,
Right.
and you know me, I was like, of course I pay the first date,
Right.
and you're like, yeah, when did you drop a big 20? Then
Well, it was so, I didn't mean it mean.
I know.
You were like, did I pay on the first date? I'm like, you did pay on
I'm
the
like,
first
yeah, because
date.
I forgot. I mean, I hope
Like,
I did.
You were talking a big game
Yeah.
about, of course you lay down that money on because we have a teenage daughter now. So it's like, of course you lay down that money on a first date. That's what a gentleman does. And then you're like, did I pay for our first date, Megan? I'm like, you did.
Okay, good. Because I forgot.
But I said, I remember you put down $20. I remember
Yeah.
that. But it was year 2000 and it was at
It
Fridays.
had to be more than $20.
I don't think it was because I have a clear memory of that. Maybe one of our listeners can get the menu from January 2000. A yellow will help us out. January 2000 TGI Fridays. How much were 2 like sodas and 2 chicken finger dinners?
I'm gonna say I probably put down 20 as a tip. Okay.
I remember you being like all excited that it was only 20 too.
Okay.
And you're like, this even covers the tip.
Let's take a break. And when we come back, you're going to talk about what aura color is your love match.
Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
We are talking about wild grain.
Oh, yeah. Just had the fettuccine.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing.
So good.
As you guys know, I love everything wild grain. There is nothing at wild grain that I will not eat. I love it all.
It's your favorite.
It's my favorite.
It's your favorite food
Favorite.
to eat. Yeah, we just had the fettuccine last night. I put it with sauce. It was so fresh. It filled us all up. I love putting in the croissants in like on a Saturday morning, and you put them in the oven because it's baked from frozen.
Yeah. I mean, there's one problem with the croissants. I just want more. That's it. There's one problem.
Well, you could actually choose your box. Like you could get all croissants in the box if you want it, but
That's what
then
we
you'd
get.
miss out on everything
That's
else
true.
you love.
That's the problem with this.
I know.
I want everything.
Wild Grain is the first ever bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, fresh pastas, and artisanal pastries. Every item bakes from frozen in 25 minutes or less. No thawing required. Your Wild Grain box is a fully customizable one, so you can choose any combination of breads, pastas, and pastries you want. Wild Grain just launched a brand new plant-based box featuring a wide selection of plant-based pastries, breads, and hand-cut pastas. For a limited time, you can get $30 off the first box plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/KYA to start your subscription. You heard me. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/KYA. That's wildgrain.com/KYA, or you can use promo code KYA at checkout. Have you been looking for love in all the wrong aura places? That's we're going to talk today about what your aura love match is. So 2 ways you can think about this. If you're single, this is something you can be like, hey, wait a second. Am I looking at aura colors? Am I looking at someone's energy? Is that a new way I can open up my perspective and maybe figure out the dating pool a little bit better? Just a new way to see things. Or if you're in a relationship, you can ask yourself, okay, what are the qualities my partner has and how can we grow these? How can we work on these together? How can I possibly even accept who they are and appreciate that instead of trying to change it, or I can let some things go that maybe aren't that important. Maybe it's just who they are. So I'm going to go through each aura color and then I'm going to go through, I just grabbed some characteristics of a good relationship. And these are good character, independent, authentic, emotionally mature and self-aware, consistency, good communication and honesty, sensitive, respectful, empathic, values, and affectionate. And we're just going to quickly go through each aura color and talk about the scale of where everybody kind of falls on this. Disclaimer, this is all assuming that the person that you love or the people that you're looking to love are in good, healthy places. Obviously, people go through things. They go through trauma. They go through their own programming. They're going through a life crisis. They're going through whatever, they're not 100% at the space they can be at to be the best person to be in a relationship. So this is just all assuming these people are in great spaces to be in a relationship. So all right, let's start with red. All right, let's say red auras in love relationships. They know what they want. Like maybe you're like, okay, I'm just so sick of people who just, they just dance around saying something, or do you like me or don't you? Are we going out? Are we not? What's happening? What are we? Red auras will not leave you in the lurch like that. Like they will tell you exactly what they want from you. And sometimes you want to hear it, sometimes you don't, but they'll be honest. They have a lot of honesty. They also are okay with, okay, what's going on next? This is what I want to do. This is my goals for the future, whatnot. They aren't afraid to talk about what they want. They're also very passionate. Red auras tend to be just passionate. They like intimacy. They like physical intimacy. They love adventures, to be adventurous. They like to see you light up. They like to see what you get excited about too. They like to bring you in their little worlds and you guys teamwork, big things with the reds. Red auras like to chase. So let them. If you want to go learn more about red auras, the logical aura episode, I went into them a lot, but they like to make the first move. So if you're a little shy, it's no problem for a red aura. They're probably already seeking out the shy ones anyhow. So just be yourself and see who comes in to put the work in. Red auras don't mind working for it. They actually like to work for it. Red auras are very honest, but they do what they want. They can be very stubborn. They can put their foot down, and it's hard to get them to move that foot. They like to take charge. Now, here's the thing, and I see this all the time when I do readings. There's a difference between somebody who's controlling and someone who's just, being red. Because sometimes red aura people, they're just used to being in charge. So they tend to just lead immediately. You kind of have to sit back because that can be a little bit like, ugh, I don't like that. If you're married to one or you're dating one, you can be like, that's, hang on, buddy, take a step back for a second. They can hear that, by the way. You can tell them that. because they do already know this about themselves if they're in a good spot. But it's not necessarily controlling. It's just they're used to saying what they want to do first and assuming everyone's just going to go along with it. They have a lot of confidence in their ideas. They do not like being micromanaged. They will shut down. If you just say something, that's why yellows and reds can have a hard time, because if you just say to a red aura, like, hey, I noticed you did it this way, but it might be a little more efficient if you did it this way. Immediately they're like, no, they don't, they're very sensitive to feeling micromanaged or controlled, even if they're not, that's not what's happening. But they're very romantic. They love a grand gesture, and they will spend money, especially when you're new in a relationship. When you're married, okay. But they have their moments, and they can do their little grand gestures, and they love to feel romantic about it, which is so sweet. So into the scale, good character. Reds pride themselves on their character. They want everything they do has to align with the idea of who they feel they are. So they definitely do double back and check everything they say, everything they do, every decision they make. Is this consistent with who I am? As long as you like who they are, then that's great, because they're very consistent with their good character. They are independent. They are used to being leaders, though, kind of like leaders of a pack. So they're very independent people, and they can do their own thing and stuff. But they're used to kind of being like, well, you want to come, you want to join, which is nice. They don't want to leave anyone out, but they are independent. They're very authentic. They're authentic. They can't actually not be. And it's actually harder for red auras to, we'll talk about some other aura colors, like evolving and changing the idea of who they are. It's difficult for them. It's a little tougher than other aura colors. So they actually do remain very consistently them. If you are in a relationship with a red aura, you already know what they're going to say, what they're going to think about something, what their viewpoint is, without even talking to them, because they're pretty authentic that way and consistent about it. Are they emotionally mature and self-aware? They are, to a point. Like I said, their stubborn qualities do get in the way of sometimes their own introspection. But like I said, today's talking about people who are in good spaces. So they are emotionally mature in that they want to be in line with their good character, and they are big on respect, and they are big on and they can take it too. Like if they know they did something wrong, they do want to fix it. So they're self-aware in that, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. That's not in line with who I want to be. I get what you're saying. They're open to the logic of it. And they are very sensitive, respectful, and empathic. They really are. They kind of start there and then they jump towards action. So usually with red auras, you're going to see them reacting to their own sensitivities and their own empathy, in that they're like, well, that's not fair. What should we do about it? But they're actually very sensitive, and they're very action oriented, and they're the ones that are going to do something instead of sit and feel sad about something. They'll actually like jump to the next spot and be like, well, what are we going to do about it? They can't just sit there in their own emotions, but it comes from there. Values. Back to the good character thing, they usually have a set of values that they're very, again, stuck on. And they'll tell you up front when you're in love with a red aura or you're dating a red aura, they're like, this is what I feel like life should look like. And you can expect that not to really change a whole lot. And they're super affectionate. Red auras are very affectionate. They're very sweet. They're very loyal. All right, let's talk about blues and indigos. Yes, I'm putting you together. I'm sorry. But blues and indigos. So, are you just sick of people that aren't like genuine? You know what I mean? Like there's so many people out there, and they could just like dump you in a drop of a hat or just move on. Or you're like, was this even real? Did we even have this connection? Like maybe you're sick of that. Maybe you're just sick of people that just aren't connecting emotionally. Well, you need a blue or an indigo aura. They're not, maybe you're done with just these selfish people who are constantly just playing games for their own amusement. That is not the blue aura or the indigo aura's way. They see you and they latch on. They're like, you are mine. and they will love you forever. They're very cuddly. They don't need a lot of wooing, with the blue and indigos. It's like their love language is Uber Eats and Netflix, chill on the couch. Like, oh, this is great. Every once in a while, yes, you have to take them out. But really, they're very low maintenance and they just want that emotional connection. They want to feel you energetically present, and then they are satisfied. They're very happy with that. Now, for some people, it's very hard to be present like that. Probably not a lot of you listening because you understand the blue indigo. You're more empath color based if you're listening to this podcast, probably. But as you know, then there are some people that is a ton of effort for them to connect emotionally or to be present like that all the time. And you might have a partner who's that, and that's okay. But for the blues and indigos, if this is who you want to be with, they need you to be there, present for them. Otherwise, it can feel like a door is closing. Blues and indigos really accept you as you are. You can share all your feelings. They probably know them anyhow. And it's better just to share how you feel rather than say nothing or I'm fine, because nothing bothers a blue or indigo more. Like, please just tell them what's wrong. They already know. They feel it in their body that something's wrong with you. And if you don't tell them, they're just going to be like, well, are you mad at me? So you just have to tell them, like, no, I had a bad day at work. Okay. And this isn't about you. And then they're like, got it. I'll make you soup. All right. They're very good like that. Just tell them. They love feelings. They love to talk. They understand if you don't want to do that all the time. But like I said, you just at least have to tell them the main topic sentence of where you're coming from. And then they'll get it. They do have a hard time. Blue auras and indigo auras have a really hard time telling you what they want. From where do you want to go eat tonight to like, what do you want in life? They have a hard time. It's difficult for them to get that information out. So that can be annoying when you're with one because you're like, what do you want? Like, so every once in a while, you have to kind of shake it out of them a little, like shake them down. Like, come on, you're picking dinner tonight. You're picking where we're eating tonight. You're picking, like, what are we doing? You have to make them do that sometimes. And blue and indigos love to be helpful. So you have to let them be helpful. Actually, if you don't let them be helpful, then they feel like shut out. So they can be with independent people. If you're independent, like blue and indigos, they can be with you, but you have to let them in some way of your life, know that they helped you or were necessary. I get this all the time in readings, kind of like, you have to use your words. You have to tell your blue or indigo partner, thank you so much. I noticed you filled my car up with gas. Look at the kids. Look how happy they are. You made dinner tonight. Oh my gosh, thank you. Like, I noticed you got my favorite soda and it's just sitting in the fridge. How thoughtful. I really appreciate you. That's so sweet. Just say it, because the blues and the indigos, that's their fuel. They need to hear it. It makes them feel good. Or even saying sometimes like, hey, blue or indigo partner, when you listen to me, I feel better. So thank you for listening. Thank you for holding my hand through this. Thank you for just being here. Thank you for being present. Just give them that. Just give it to them because they need that. They need that so much. That makes them feel so good. All right. Through their character traits, blues and indigos have very good character, meaning, especially when it comes to their personal relationships. They'll shirt off their back. They'll do anything for you. They independent, like they are, but they just like to be around people, with people. Indigos, less people. Blue auras, more people. Yes. But people and their relationships are everything to them. So it's kind of like they have to check in with the relationships before they can feel like they can go off and do their own thing. Otherwise, it's too distracting and they feel all thrown off. Blues and indigos are very authentic. They're very much themselves. They can be, they do struggle with people pleasing, which can interfere in their authenticity, because then they can feel like, that's why they have to be careful about who they hang out with and stuff, because they can feel pulled into other people's stuff and it can decrease their feeling of authenticity or staying true to themselves. Blue indigos are very emotionally mature and self-aware. And actually, they love being emotionally mature and they love being self-aware. They can feel, so when you're dating a blue or indigo or you're with a blue or indigo, they can get a little bit like, oh no, they can take things to the heart. So if you tell them something, their defensiveness is more kind of like sad. Like, oh, I really messed up, didn't I? Oh, I'm the worst, aren't I? Or something. So I think that that's part of any blue or indigo's journey. It's like listening to something. Okay, I got it. This doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I can fix this and move forward because they feel like everything's their fault. Consistency. Yeah, they're pretty consistent on their people skills and whatnot. They are really good at changing up their thoughts or attitudes or beliefs about things, though. Especially if if a mindset needs to grow, they're like, okay, I used to think this, but now I think this. I learned more, I grew. They don't have as much rigidity with expanding their beliefs or letting their beliefs evolve or being like, this is what happened, like that. What else? Sensitive. Oh, good communication. Kind of. Like I said, you got to shake them down for things. And honesty, it's hard. It's hard actually to get them to sometimes just be straight up because they don't want to hurt feelings. Sensitive, respectful, empathic, 100%. They're all those things, like 10 out of 10. Values, yeah, they're again, back to the good character thing, in line with people. This is the type of mom I want to be. This is the type of dad I want to be. This type of a husband or wife I want to be. This is who I, they're more in line with like my role towards somebody else and values with that. And they are very affectionate. They love to cuddle. They enjoy that. They need that. Okay, when we come back, we are going to talk about yellows. I want to share with you something I started that has truly changed my life. And all I do is drink a little something before bedtime. Mellow magnesium helps me be a better version of myself. I had no idea I was magnesium deficient until I started taking mellow magnesium every night for a month. I think one of the biggest things that was my problem was I wasn't sleeping. And I was waking up a lot and I wasn't sleeping well. Did you know that 75% of American adults are deficient in magnesium, a mineral that's essential to hundreds of functions in the body? That means there's a 3 out of 4 chance you are deficient. And guess what? Magnesium deficiency is a root cause of a whole host of modern ailments, from anxiety and depression to insomnia and stress. Suddenly the puzzle pieces just came together once I was taking this for about 2-3 weeks. And I'm like, wait a second, why do I feel so much better? I take a scoop of their Mellow Magnesium Super Blend, put it in water, and I am good to go. Ned spent over 3 years developing their best-selling Mellow Magnesium Super Blend. And you can go check out on their website. Ned shares all of its third-party lab reports. Full transparency, you can look for yourself. And Ned's products have over 5,000 five-star reviews. Become the best version of yourself and get 15% off Ned products with code AURA. Go to helloned.com/aura or enter code AURA at checkout. That's HELLONED.com/aura to get 15% off. So is your aura love match a yellow? I mean, here's the deal. Maybe you're just ready to date a grown-up now. Like, you're really just sick of people that can't get their crap together. Like, I am so sick of people that can't get their crap together, can't pay bills, they don't know what they're doing in life, they don't have goals, they don't work, they're always in dealing with money stuff. You need a yellow, because yellows aren't going to do that to you. All right. Yellow aura partners, they get up and just do things for themselves. That's what they do. They're very motivated, they're very efficient. They love to learn. They're always staying busy. They're always creating new ideas. They're curious. They're following interests. They have a plan all the time. Like, life is never boring with a yellow aura partner. They love to plan fun activities. You can sit back when you're with a yellow aura and be like, oh, what are we doing this weekend? They'll tell you. They're like, oh, well, we have a game on this side. We have a Saturday. We're meeting with this couple. If that's for you, you want to be with a yellow aura. If you won't go, they'll just go themselves. That's the other thing. Like, if you're like, but you need to go with them. You need to go with them at least 75% of the time, because they really do love when people participate, when a partner participates in their plan, because they work so hard on that. It's their love language. Yellow auras love taking the lead, so let them just kind of plan the thing and go along with it and give them tons of kudos. Be like, this is amazing. I never would have gone here. Thank you so much. But here's the thing, when you're with a yellow aura, every once in a while they need a break. So you have to ask them, hey, do you want me to plan this weekend for us? Or do you want me to take over some of this planning with the vacation or whatever? Do you need me to help with the kids this week planning what's going on? They need to hear that every once in a while. They need the option. Are they going to say yes? Probably not. But at least you gave them the option. And if they're really, really, really had it that week, which would have to be a lot for a yellow, like they have severe flu symptoms or they're just completely tanked, you're going to have to, you're probably going to hear no, because they just would rather do things themselves. But it's nice that you offer, and that is such a nice thing to do for the yellow auras don't need their hand held. They really don't. They can do it themselves. Also with yellow aura partners, if you ask them like, hey, can you teach me to XYZ? They're like, yeah, here, let me show you how. And then they'll set you up, and then they expect you to do that yourself now. They're not going to keep doing it. So they're very independent, and they expect you to be too, which is nice because that allows you in a partnership to have your time and them to have their time. They're good that way. They really do enjoy special moments. So the time when you spend these times together with yellows, they're special, they're thought out, they're memorable, and yellow auras love that. So let's go to their characteristics. Yellows with good character. Yeah, they're kind of like reds this way in that they have a definitive idea of who they are, and they like to be consistent towards that. They are very independent. In terms of authenticity, yes. Yellow auras are very direct. They have a plan and a vision for who they are, and they're straight up with you. They're direct, and they're very authentic. You can ask them to tell you the truth. They'll tell you the truth. They're very emotional, mature, self-aware. Yeah, they do put blinders on sometimes though, because they're so 2 steps ahead sometimes instead of the present moment. So that can interfere with their self-awareness, which they already know this, which is why they're constantly reading their self-help books and listening to their meditations and deep diving on their therapy and stuff. Cause they're like, cause they're always 3 steps ahead. And then they kind of reflect and they're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was already in the future. So it's hard for them to stay in the present. They're either kind of hanging out in the past, reflecting, or in the future. So that can interfere with their self-awareness. Consistency. They're very consistent. They're busy. So when we're talking about red auras, for example, like when you're with a red aura partner, you know exactly what they're going to say, do, feel, do. Yellows to a point, because they will switch it up on you. And they're also so busy and fast. Like yellow auras move so fast. You don't even I think she wants to. Did she already do that? Did he already do? They're already, who knows? They might be light years ahead of whatever they're talking about. So you might not be able to peg them as easy on what they're doing or what you think they're gonna do. But for the most part, you tell them to show up, yellow auras show up. They're in charge of the classroom, they're doing the classroom. They're in charge of snacks this week at soccer. You got that. You can be they're pretty consistent that way. Good communication, honesty. Yes. Yellow auras are very direct. They're very honest. Sometimes they have a hard time because yellow aura partners, they like to hear things just straight up and direct too. And so if you don't do it that way, sometimes they don't understand that maybe they're not reading in between the lines. So, and they're not used to, and I see this in readings all the time with yellow aura partners. They're not used to having their hand held, so they don't really know how to hold yours through emotional talkings. If you got a lot going on, all right, and you're well, I got this feeling and this feeling and this feeling, you have to sit them down and just start telling them that and slow them down. They are solutions based, which can kind of make their communication all right, well, let's solve this and move forward so we can just keep on trucking, like that. Sensitive. Yes, they are sensitive. They're sensitive because they're doers. They're going to be like, okay, what's solution based? I feel your pain. I'm going to jump into action. They're very respectful. They're very empathic. They just get, and again, if you want to go listen to the logical aura episode, I talked about yellow deep dives along with the reds. They do get a bad rap because they're so action-based oriented. They're not always with the words. They're more with the do's. So they're doing things for you. And that's their way of being sensitive and empathic and respectful. Yellows and values. Yeah, kind of up to the good character thing. They're pretty consistent, but they are always shifting and changing and moving how they're good at expanding their own mindset and awareness and whatnot. So that can change, and I say this all the time, you shouldn't think what you did 10 years ago. You should think new things now. Hopefully your values have expanded and changed and grown and evolved based on what you know now. I mean, that's a good thing to change your mind. And I think like yellows understand that. And yellows with affection, they're always in a state of movement. So they're very affectionate. That's why you got to kind of like plan when you're in a partnership with the yellow, you kind of got to plan sometimes affection times, if you know what I mean, because you have to tell them like, okay, we're settling down. And from, 6 to 8, this is our affection time or like whatever. And it just allows them to be like, oh, let me catch my breath. Let me prepare myself mentally. Let me be present. Okay, we're good. Of course they're sweet. It's hard for them to sit and cuddle on the couch all night. That might be tough for them. So you have to kind of tell them what to do. What now if your aura love match is green? Greens, like you're sick of people that don't have anything interesting to say. You know what I mean? Like you're sitting across, it's the first date with somebody and they're just like, ugh. And you're just like, can you talk? Can you have an interest? Can you interest me? Well, green auras sure can. Green auras probably have an interest and it's probably nuanced in some way, but they're super into it. And they know more about this than anybody else knows about this. And if you're into like just being into what somebody else is into, green auras are for you. Because depending on what type of green you have, and if you've been here a while, we have a couple greens. We have the gamer green. So those might be really into tech, gaming, technology, software, that world. I don't even know any more vocab for it, but like that world. Maybe they're into that and you're like, oh, they're just so excited about it. I take apart computers and I put them back together. You're like, oh my God, that's so cool. I'm going to this gaming thing all weekend. We stayed up 48 hours straight. Do you want to come and bring me a protein shake? I sure do. You know what I mean? Like that. Okay, or you could have kind of like the science green and they're going to be really into nature facts or telling you something. They got their weather data out in the backyard. Or you got your off the grid green where they're going to tell you how their dream is to go live off the grid in Saskatchewan or something. And they already know how to do it. You believe them. You're like, I could live there and I feel like I could get a hot shower out of this person. Like that is how adept they are being off the grid green. Like, like their passion, they have this passion. Or you have your guru green, and these are the greens that are like spiritual, and like we're doing this and we're going to learn this and like, let's talk about it and deep dive and really intense spiritual stuff and self-improvement conversations. So there's lots of CEO green. Okay. Those are the ones that are like stocks. I got to throw out vocab because I can't even talk like this. SEO, CEO, CFO, industry, real estate, money, like that, finance, that kind of thing. They're really into that. So if you like, my point is greens love nuance. They love complexity, their passion in life. They want to show you that too. They want to teach you about it. They want to tell you about it. If you feel like, oh man, I want to get immersed in whatever you're talking about. That sounds like so much fun. Green auras are like, please, because it is a lot about what they love and their passions. And you got to kind of go along with them. And some people like that, and that's fine. Green auras want to tell you about it, show you, and bring you on to be their best friend and partner as you find this passion together. They're very adventurous people. They love doing things that are adventurous. They love, doing things that are kind of outside the box. They don't like society rules a whole lot, so they like to kind of living outside of it. They're very independent. And if they'll go do things all by themselves, they're fine because they got that focus. But if you want to come along, as long as, if you want to come along, you can. They're more than willing to have you there. It's just we're going to do kind of things, and they'll do your things too. I'm just saying that's just where you really see them shine and thrive. And I will say this for greens, money. Like, okay, we all have our own issues with it based on our upbringing and whatnot, but greens and money is not money. Money is just energy. And green auras, I notice, are the ones that kind of need the most pushing in terms of we're merging, in partnerships, we're merging money now. Okay. We're getting married. All right. So we have to kind of like buy things together, or you have to kind of like, hello, like that kind of thing, or we're living together. How are we splitting finances? You have to have these like conversations with them. For a lot of other people, it can be seen as, why aren't you being giving? Why are you being stingy? Like, are you afraid I'm going to steal all your money? Like, what is it? It's not that, unless they have some sort of issue. It's more they just didn't think about it. And also money is just their independence, or money is their energy towards their passions. So they don't understand the need to put your name on it too. I just see in readings, a lot of green aura partners are the ones that are putting their sticks in the mud when it comes to moving forward with living together, marriage, money together, buying something together, just moving forward in general, because it can be a money situation or money issue, which isn't about money. It's about them feeling like they won't have their freedom anymore. And greens need a lot of freedom, and they hate society telling them what to do. All right, let's go through the values. All right, so good character. Greens have their own character. I call it, the 10 commandments of the green. They got their thing, this thou shalt not, and it's their own stuff. They think it's universal. It's not, it's just theirs, but they're very stuck on it. So they have good character as it pertains to their own 10 commandments of the green. Like, they won't go against those. Learn what they are, see if you like that, and then, okay, cool, we can be together. They are very independent. They are very authentic. They're very much like, they're going to do and say and be exactly who you can predict the green aura. They're not hard to know. They're not hard to know where they're at today, what they want to do, where they'd rather be, what they're going to say next. Emotional maturity, self-aware. Because they have intense focus, sometimes it's hard for them to see in how they are affecting other people. Like they can kind of go into themselves and do their thing, or go into their interests and do their thing, and not always be aware that other people might be taking that in a way that's anything other than how they mean it to be. So that's something that you have to kind of work on when you're with a green. Greens are very consistent, depending on your green. Sometimes greens are like overly consistent. You're like, please do something different. Like, we have to eat somewhere else. We have to go somewhere else for vacation. Like, come on, like that. Or, so it kind of depends on your green, where their consistency is at. Some are consistent, in ways where they're very risk taking, or they're like, now we're doing this, now I'm doing this venture, now I'm starting this business. It kind of depends on what kind of green you have, but they're consistent in the way that, in the pattern that you know them to be. Good communication. Again, I feel like greens are so in their focus. You got to find their other color, like if they're blue or purple, or turquoise or something. We got to maybe angle in that way because the green itself is in Greenland. That's funny. They're in their own like world, and they have a hard time leaving it. They don't even hear you. It's like, so yeah, they can have a hard time with communication. You got to angle in from their empath color. Sorry, greens. Once they get going from the green perspective, they're fine, but you got to get in. The door is their empath aura color. Sensitive, respectful, empathic. Yeah, they're usually very sensitive towards what their own values are, and what their own beliefs are, and what their own focus is and whatnot. And they're very empathic towards, depending on what their thing is, like if, towards whatever their passion is, they can be extremely sensitive towards that. And they can really see other people being affected by it as well. And affection, greens are very affectionate. They're actually like the focus again, back to the focus. They can be very focused on you. When they're focused on you, this is the thing with green aura, is like their focus can actually freak you out a little bit if you're not used to it. It's actually quite wonderful, but they are, when they're in the moment with you, with affection or intimacy or just like that togetherness, like they are in the moment with you and they're studying you, like whatever their favorite thing in the world is, it's you. And that's really nice, but can freak you out if you're not used to that. So just prepare yourself for that. Okay. When we come back, we are going to talk about purples. I have 2 kids, and when they get home from school, man, they are starving. And then each kid wants something different. And sometimes I'm just busy, but I don't want to feel guilty about throwing them something to eat for dinner. That's why I'm so happy I found Nurture Life. This podcast is sponsored by Nurture Life. Nurture Life is a meal delivery service focused on helping busy parents easily feed their babies and kids from 10 months old to 10 years old. The company provides fresh meals and snacks that are delicious, nutritious, and fully cooked. That means that they are ready to serve in just 1 minute. Nurture Life lets kids enjoy a healthy, nutritionally balanced diet while still eating all their favorite foods like mac and cheese, spaghetti and meatballs, and much more, so parents can be sure there's always something on the menu that their little ones will love. What sets Nurture Life apart from other meal delivery services? Without a doubt, it's amazing taste and how healthy it is. It's because their meals are made fresh every week. Seriously, they're never frozen and shipped directly to your door. My kids adore them. And I was even eating some too. I am an Odie's girl. You guys, that stuff is good. This is why Nurture Life is the top meal delivery service for babies and kids. And it's even allergy friendly too. Last night, in fact, my little one just had Swedish meatballs with egg noodles and broccoli, and there was not one bite she did not take. I mean, that her plate was clean. I just really appreciate that Nurture Life not only makes it easy, but they don't take any sort of health or nutrition away from what they're doing. All the meals are designed by registered dietitians, so I know we're giving my kiddos food that is good for them. It's about time that a flexible meal subscription existed for babies and kids. So head to nurturelife.com and use code KYA for 55% off your order. That's right, 55% off. Once again, that's nurturelife.com for 55% off. And make sure you use my promo code KYA so they know I sent you. Is purple your aura love match? Well, answer me this. Are you just bored? Are you bored with boring people who just think the same way and they're always like conforming and, you know, they never change their mind. They're very stuck on something and it's just like, oh, like, are you bored? Then you need a purple because purples cannot conform to anyone's standard. They definitely don't expect you to either. They support your evolution. They support your growth. They love adventures and spontaneity. They hate anything mundane. When things get too mundane, your purple aura partner is going to be like, okay, suggestions. What are we doing this weekend? Who are we hanging out with? Where are we going on a trip? You know, let's move to Colorado. I feel like I've been getting that a lot in readings lately. Everyone's just like, I'm purple and I'm moving to Colorado. It's like, have fun. Okay. Anyways, so it's just, they're all about the vibe. And as long as you don't tell them what to do, because you can't do that. They're very adaptable. They're very flexible. They're just kind of, you trust them in any situation just to make do. You drop a purple anywhere, they're like, oh, all right, well, let's figure this out. You know, you can say a lot of things for all the other aura colors in terms of resourcefulness. Purples don't fret. Like you throw them somewhere. Yeah, they get stressed and anxious, but they're also like, okay, let's make this work. And they thrive in that. They thrive in being adaptable and flexible and problem solving in the moment. So they're kind of like a good vibe. They're very positive to be around and they're not judgmental. And you don't have to be afraid to tell them anything. Like they don't judge a thing. Like you can say all the weird things and they're like, okay, cool. Me too, maybe. You know, so purples need a lot of change. So they are partners that cannot, if you're kind of less prone to that or okay with that, it's going to be a problem because purples, they don't like, oh, it's just like the day in, day out. Even if you're living a life with a purple where it is a day in, day out, maybe you got kids, you know, and it's like, okay, you know, they go to school, we have to stay here, we can't move, this is what we do. You have to find excitement with your purple aura partner in other places, which you can. We're starting this class together. We're going on this weekend adventure. We're trying all the Cracker Barrels in the area. I don't know. Like I wrote that might have been a dream of my own, everybody. I gave you my purple dream. But, we're going to try every single, all these food spots, or they just want to just make it fun, just something different, something that's not what everyone else is doing. That's so exhausting when you're living this sleeping life. They can't handle it. They do love surprises. You can surprise a purple. They're all for that. They're super cool with that. Not all aura colors are. Don't surprise the reds. But you want to surprise somebody, surprise a purple. They're super happy. And they're adventurous. They will go, they'll do anything. Pretty much anything. They'll try it. They're up for it once. Okay, back to the character qualities. Purple's in good character. Purples work on this. I feel like because of their versatility and their adaptability, and their try anythingness. I feel like every purple has a history where they're like, that wasn't the best version of me at that time in my life, but they're working on it. Like the older a purple gets, the more they're kind of like, okay, all right, this is who I am. This is who I want to be, fundamentally, but they don't make their good character based on kind of I don't know, things they do every day. It's more inside themselves. The 3D world doesn't always have a lot to say about their good character. They're taking it more from their 5D beliefs. Purples are independent. They do like to do things on their own. They can go off and be in different groups with different people. They do like to be with people. They could be by themselves, but I think they like to be independent with people because they love people. They like to feel that energy and that vibe. Purples are very authentic. They're very much themselves. Even if they go along with something for a while, it can only last a certain amount of time before they're like, nope, bye. Because they have to be true to themselves, which is a sense of freedom, emotional maturity, and self-awareness. Yeah, sometimes in the reflection of things, because they can be impulsive, and then they can look back and be like, ooh, all right, I see what I was doing here. I see what I was doing there. But purples love to kind of do that. They like to reflect and see their mistakes as teachers, and that's a big part of their self-awareness. Purples and consistency, not quite. All right, not quite. They work on it. I feel like this happens with maturity. You can get more consistent about some things. And I think what happens is with purples, they just learn to be like, you know what? I know I'm not going to show up for that, so I'm going to say no right here, right now. Instead of be like, yeah, I'd be there, totally. Because in the moment, they can say one thing, and then when it happens, they're like, oh, no, I got this other thing I'm going to do. And so, they work on that part of themselves. So consistency, they work on. And if you have a purple or a partner, you might have to work on them with that and hold them accountable. Affection. They're so affectionate. They love PDA. They want to hold you and cuddle you and feel all that goodness with you all the time. They don't care who's watching. All right, let's talk about pinks. Maybe your aura love match is a pink. I mean, maybe here's the thing. Do you just want to have fun? Maybe you're just sick of sticks in the mud. The world's so serious, Pink auras aren't. They love bringing fantasy to reality, and they know they're doing that. They're not dumb. They're not stupid. They're not simple. This is on purpose because they know that the world is so dark that they're going to do something in spite of it all to be like, no, I'm bringing my joy bubble to my own world. And this is it. In spite of all this darkness, I'm going to be me. And I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to see the world in this with rose-colored glasses on. I choose to do that. And it's kind of like this rebellious nature and with joy and a childlike wonder, and maybe you want that in life because that's a pink aura. And they want you to escape from the seriousness of adulting together. So they'll make little moments and worlds and plan things. They love surprises and sweet gestures. They'll do it for you. And they love when you do it for them. They love seeing you just light up when you're sharing an experience, when you're having just this amazing moment together and they see how happy you are. They're happy. And they just love that. And it's a huge connection for the pinks. Pink auras you have to be comfortable hearing their dreams and their wishes and their inner thoughts without judgment, because a lot of people can be like, that's naive. That's not how the world works. And pink auras will shut right down when they start hearing somebody say that to them and just move on. Just be open to it. Like they know how it sounds, but in spite of it, let's just go there anyhow. And they're just kind of magical, and they want to make magic in your life. Pinks are just a lot of fun. They're kind of like yellows because they'll plan a lot. They'll plan, oh, let's do this weekend. And then I made this reservation and then we're going to go do this, you know, that's what they like to do. But they also appreciate your effort. When you put in effort for them, they are just like, oh my gosh, like any romantic gesture, any sort of effort, like it's over the top. I mean, you'll get a reaction that's just like makes you swoon how excited they are that you did something like that for them. They make you feel really good about yourself in a partnership. Let's go through their little character qualities. Good characters. Pinks have very good character. They're very honest to who they are, and they will make the choices that are in line with. Usually pinks are just very kind. So they'll make choices that align with that. Sometimes they can put their blinders up to things they don't want to see though. Which means that a self-aware pink definitely shuts out certain people that don't align with their character. Pinks are independent. They can go do things by themselves. They'd rather do things like with you or whatever, but they can do things by themselves because they'll just bring their joy bubble. It's kind of like little kids who play dolls in the corner and they're talking to each other. They're talking to themselves. The dolls are talking to each other. That's like pink aura adults. Like they're like, all right, you don't want to come? I'm just going to go do this myself. And they'll have a great old time. They're very authentic. They're not very argumentative. They'll just kind of shut down if you go after it, or they know who they are and they're not going to like defend that to you. Emotional maturity, self-awareness. Yeah, as long as they don't stay in their fantasy land too long, which sometimes they can because they don't want to leave it. But they know that every once in a while they got to leave it, address things, and go back in. And usually their self-awareness comes with not letting people tell them what to do or not ignoring things that are detrimental to them outside of their joy bubble. Pink auras they're pretty consistent. You know, they can be a little rebellious based on who... If you're telling them what to do or whatever, they kind of share that with purples. Don't tell them what to do. Yeah. Because their consistency they can have issues with that. Like if they don't want to do something, they'll move on. And they can change up their thoughts and whatnot. All right. Good communication, honesty. It's hard. Sometimes you got to poke them a little bit to see what they really think. Sensitive, respectful, empathic, very. And are they affectionate? They're very affectionate. They love love. They're very romantic. They enjoy feeling that connection and using it as part of their joy bubble universe. All right, let's talk about turquoises. Is your aura love match a turquoise? You know, do you not always fit in? You know what I mean? Is conformity overrated? Are you sick of being judged because you're different and you think different and, you know, you just don't want to do what everybody else wants to do? You're not liking and subscribing to the 3D realities version of what life should be like. Well, you need a turquoise. All right. Turquoises will not make you feel like the odd one out. They actually would never expect you to fit in. They don't even notice that. They enjoy your differences. They enjoy your similarities. They love hearing about what makes you you. And they do not experience conformity and they expect a relationship that wouldn't do that either. They really are supportive of a partner's growth in spiritual, physical, emotional ways. And turquoises love to experience themselves in a lot of different contexts. So, maybe you're road tripping, or we're moving, or we're going to try this coast for a while, or we're going to try this job or this career. They can switch it up a lot and be like, oh, this is what I was like here. And this is what I was like in this moment. This is what I was like in that moment. And if you like to do that too, they're all for it. They're like, let's see who you are in different contexts, and you can see who I am in different contexts. Because when you're with a turquoise, you're connecting at kind of a soulful level all the time. Turquoises just don't mind if you're a little different. So that's nice. You don't have to feel funny or silly or anything like that. They don't mind alternative looks. So if you're somebody, I got a lot of tattoos and that's been a hard time dating. Well, turquoises don't care, and purples don't either, by the way. But so turquoises don't care with alternative looks or if you dress a certain way or and they're very fluid about things. Just in terms of any sort of social norm. If you want to say I've experienced this in my life or I've always wanted to try this, turquoises are like, okay. They're very understanding. They can hear that and they can flow with you on it. So they don't try to put you in a category or stick you in a box. And that's nice when you're with a turquoise. And also, I just had to add this one. They're very good with flex living situations and less of a plan in life that's conventional. So I think a lot of times, and this isn't everybody, but we get stuck like, oh, I have to own a house and I have to live in this neighborhood, or I have to, do this and I have to do that, or I have to live in one spot, or I have to live by my parents. Or turquoises aren't so stuck with that, what we have to do. When they hear have to, they're like, ugh, they kind of go into their little, ooh, what? And then like, let's do this instead. So turquoises. Let's talk about their character qualities. So turquoises they do have good character. They're always trying to find their identity. They're actually super aware of their character, I feel like, because they have a hard time pinpointing themselves. So they're like, where am I going? Who am I today? What does this say about me? So it's reflection, even if it can get a little anxious about it. Are turquoises independent? They can be. If you aren't independent, then they won't be. If you are independent, then they will be. So they flow with whatever the relationship needs from them. Turquoises are pretty authentic at a soulful level. They get a bad rap because they kind of change their pathways a little bit. They change who they are, what they're doing in the 3D realm, but authentically inside, they're very the same. They're very honest in that way. Emotional maturity, self-awareness, they're always working on it. They're always working on understanding more about themselves. And I feel like that working on it provides insight. Consistency, not always. I feel like they have phases of consistency, and then they'll have a phase of inconsistency. So they're doing something and you can really be like, oh, this is who they are. And all of a sudden they just like take a hard right and you're just like, what? Who are you now? So kind of depends what phase they're in. Good communication, honesty. Yeah, they're actually really honest, like almost to the point where like, oh, you don't have to be that honest. So sometimes when you're in a relationship with a turquoise, you got to be like, okay, I need your honesty, but maybe sugarcoat it until we get to know each other a little better. And they're very sensitive, respectful, empathic, because they feel everything. They're an empath aura color, so feeling everything makes you be that way. Almost to the point where they're saying, oh, was I too sensitive? Am I being a pushover? Am I being manipulated? They can worry about those things. And it's, in terms of affection, turquoises are very affectionate until they're not. Like, I think out of all of them, they kind of remind me more of cats in a way, because it's like, I love you. Ooh, okay, I'm done. Don't touch me right now. Overstimulated a little bit, but that's okay. So I think it's a healthy balance. All right. Hopefully you took what aura color is your love match quiz, because I want to see what you got over on the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family Facebook page. My hair is really thick and I notice it gets so dry because of that, but using a shampoo and conditioner specifically designed for my hair type has changed up my hair game. You can upgrade your shower routine with a wash day duo that's designed for fine, medium, and thick strands to get your hair looking and smelling amazing with Way. So because I have this thick hair, I use Way's thick hair shampoo and conditioner because my hair craves moisture, and that duo really answers the call. I took a quiz, and you can go take Way's hair quiz to find out my hair type. And my results were that I had thick hair and that I probably needed this. Ever since using it, I've noticed my hair is bouncier. It is smoother looking. It feels healthier. It's easier to work with too. And it feels much more moisturized. Some of you may have fine hair and you need to turn up the volume. Their fine hair shampoo and conditioner will give your locks a luxurious lift. But they also have shampoo and conditioner duos for medium hair. So you got to go take the hair quiz and figure out what'll help you best to get your hair looking its best with Way. Wash your way to healthy hair and get a hair routine that's made just for you by Way. Go to TheOuai.com and use promo code AURA for 15% off any product. That's TheOuai.com, code AURA. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
Okay, so back to the quiz, which hopefully you've all taken on knowyouroura.com. What aura color is your love match quiz? I wanted to ask you one of the questions.
All right, another question. So the first two questions I got really roasted. I think, like, cheap roasted on.
But cheap roasted, yeah.
Okay, so hopefully this is a better question.
Well, this one is about birthdays. So I thought this was good because it is September. It's Scotty's birthday month.
Yeah,
if you've been here a while, you know this is his least favorite month. He really has issues with like mortality. It gets real dark.
Wake me up when September ends.
Yes.
Who's that? What's the band that by
so
Green Day?
Yeah, good job. Oh, he saved us. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So here's the question. You all can answer it too.
Okay.
Which do you think is the best way to celebrate your partner's birthday?
Okay. So your birthday, not my birthday.
So you got to answer for my birthday and I'll answer for your birthday.
Okay.
All right. So here's the first one. Meet up with all their closest friends at their favorite bar or restaurant, whatever.
Okay. That's a good. Okay.
That's good for you.
Yeah.
See, again, you're only picking. You only pick the ones you'd want to do. That's what I would pick for you.
Me? Okay. Yeah.
Immediately, I'm like, that one.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like it to be before my birthday, not on my birthday.
We don't do well on your birthday.
Yeah. So I'd like the day before or maybe the day after.
Scotty.
Actually, the day after would be real good.
Day after your birthday or at midnight on that day.
Right.
So it's really not the day anymore. Yeah.
All right. What's the day?
Okay. We have game night and pizza with a few close pals.
Yeah, I mean
you could do that.
I could do that.
I could see you doing that.
And would you?
Well, I wouldn't mind that one.
Yeah, would you like that one?
I'd like that
Kinda?
one. That one's okay.
Yeah.
That one's good for me. Close pals. Close.
And they're
I can see you being like that's not flashy enough or fun, like adventurous enough.
Okay.
You might get depressed. You might wander off as we're playing Monopoly and just start.
If I wasn't winning the game, maybe
putting on your hat and just putting on sad music or something. And we're like, Scott,
it's your turn. And like, like when you have to get that person, it's their turn and they left.
Yeah. And they left.
And they left. Like, where is that
where do you
person?
go?
It's their turn.
Like, you wouldn't be
waiting.
as funny during like Pictionary or something.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Another would be dinner at a waterfront restaurant with invited guests.
Okay, back to okay. So, I got roasted already earlier with the seafood question. So the waterfront restaurant, we go back to the seafood here.
Yeah, well, waterfront.
So again, I'm thinking.
It's like you invite guests, like let's say you're doing this for your partner. Like you plan it out, you know who they want to invite, you pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, it could.
Yeah, would you do that for me? You have.
Yeah, I would do it for you.
You have done that for me.
I wouldn't do it for me, but I'd do it for you.
Yeah, you have done that for me.
That'd be pricey.
I would not be allowed to do that for you. Like if I did that, I was like, Scott, everybody surprise. This would be like the worst.
My problem with that.
I was like, surprise, Scott. I took everybody out for your birthday and we're paying for it. You'd be like, Megan. But if it was the other way, you wouldn't mind doing it.
Yeah. What is it? The price? Was it a pricey seafood restaurant?
No,
I added that.
You took the word waterfront and defined it as pricey seafood restaurant.
That's right. Well,
somebody says waterfront and you hear pricey seafood restaurant instead.
Here's the thing. Like, I would do that. The only problem I have with that one is like, it depends on who you invite, because, there could be that one person.
I know what you're going to say.
That orders like some crazy like wine or something. And you're like, wait, and you get the bill You're like, what is this $75 bottle of wine?
You do set menu.
Set menu I would do.
Okay.
Yeah, set menu. Yeah, that'd be better.
So that person tries to do it.
Right.
Which, by the way, could be you at somebody else's thing. Just saying.
It could be.
Okay.
Although I don't like wine. So
all right. It's not going to be that.
All right.
It's going to be like extra fries or something.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another option.
Okay.
Camping trip and dinner by the bonfire just for the two of you.
No.
That's not
bugs.
you.
That's
Bugs.
Mess.
Yeah.
I mean, I
That's
like
not
the
for
fire.
me
I like the
either.
fire part,
Yeah.
like making the fire. But I don't want to eat like.
You're going to do that in the backyard.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
Yeah. It's not The Bachelor where they set these things up
Right.
and nobody eats.
I know. There's like a rug on the
that's
on the
BS.
forest
You're watching,
floor.
Yeah, that's a BS thing you're watching.
Yeah.
Like that looks better on TV.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. All right.
Welcome.
So
You're welcome.
here's the next one. Dancing at the club with their besties in a party bus.
Okay. Absolutely not.
And well, for you, would you do it for me?
you.
Remember, this is for your partner.
You would actually probably, if you were in a purple moment, you probably would like
I
that
love
one.
that one.
You'd love that one.
Yeah, with the right people,
With the
who
right
are going to have a
people.
good
You gotta get the
time.
right people.
Yeah,
See,
the right people.
All these answers are predicated on getting the right person or
Right.
people.
Well, you want people that also want to do that.
Right.
Yeah, which I think
Yeah.
those are all my people would be
Right.
into that.
Except for me.
Except for you. Anytime I've ever gone, I love my younger days. I loved going to the clubs.
Yeah, me too.
No, you would be outside. Like, you ready to go now? You ready to go? Like that, like, we're having fun.
Yeah.
You're like, no, we're not.
We
don't like touching
Get
people.
to like 11:30. I get tired.
You're tired, yeah. All right. Surprise party with custom cake and lots of balloons. Would you like a surprise party with a custom cake and lots of balloons? No, you would not.
No, absolutely not. But you would. I don't know if you like that so much
I wouldn't.
either.
The surprise is no.
You wouldn't want that.
I don't know. It's a surprise.
Yeah.
I don't like it being a surprise.
Like if you guys told me it was happening and then I knew,
yeah,
and then I had a fake that I knew,
yeah,
like, and everyone there thought I didn't know,
yeah,
but I really knew.
then you'd be okay with it.
I might be okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably let it slip that you knew though.
Yeah, I probably would.
All right, lawn seats for two at their favorite concert.
Lawn seats for two. Well, that's something. Well, that's like when you're sitting there in the ground, right? There's no actual seats.
Well, there's two options for you. It could be like the community local amphitheater where you bring your own lawn chair. Oh, see, you like that one where you bring your own lawn chairs.
Right. It's not so crowded.
No ticket price.
Okay.
Okay. It's like the orchestra, the local orchestra or something.
Or they're playing like, hits from the 80s.
Yeah, hits from the 80s. You bring your little
90s.
cooler and you make it a night. Maybe that's what they like to do.
Right.
So you make it like a fun little night.
Right.
Yeah, you do. You wouldn't. This has become more what you wouldn't mind doing for someone instead of what your partner
Correct.
like.
That's right.
But okay. And the last one is helicopter ride over the city lights and a private rooftop romantic dinner.
Okay, that's a no.
That's not not because that's
And not
it's
because of the price.
pricey.
No,
Yes,
not
that is because of the price.
Not because of the price. You know how many helicopter accidents there are? There's a lot of helicopter accidents. These helicopters,
there?
they go down.
Give me statistics.
They go like you have a 23% chance.
Okay. You make it all like a weird
something
number
happening.
so it sounds right.
I know. You always hear the story.
23 is high.
Fine. That might be a little bit
That's
high.
really
maybe It's
high.
like maybe 17. You hear all these stories about like helicopter things gone wrong.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be like, it's not that I'm cheap, it's that I don't want you to die.
Yes. The price for that is fine.
All
I'm
right.
okay with that price.
Well, back to your birthday.
No.
I think that is happening this month.
Yeah, when this
and-
airs, it still won't be my birthday, but it'll
No.
be closer to my birthday.
Right.
And that's not good. I mean, have you guys decided what you're going to get
So-
me this year?
So as people who've been listening a while know, we can't, don't ever shop off the list for a red. If a red or they don't like surprises.
Right.
Okay. We've talked about this. Actually, do yourself a favor. They're not trying to control you. It's just, they don't like your surprise gifts. Like they don't think it's thoughtful or anything. Just get them what they want. The problem with you though is, as the kids and I have decided, you don't want anything. So it's hard to get you, and we're not allowed to surprise you. So it's
Well, I have
difficult.
A few things. I mean, I have things that I want.
All right, so
Like I always get the specialty coffees.
you like specialty coffees.
Yeah, that's approved.
Right.
There's a couple places you can go.
Yeah.
I think the place in Helen, Georgia would be good.
So yeah, we went to Helen. We love Helen, Georgia, and they have this place. This is not an ad. It's called Jumping Goat.
Jumping Goat.
And so I'll always get you coffee from there.
Yeah, I still have my Cafe Du Monde from Louisiana Coffees.
Yes.
So I don't need that right now.
So we get you the Jumping Goat coffee, but don't get you any other brand.
Correct.
See, you guys can go through. Now, am I allowed to get you clothing?
I do need, yes, you can. I mean, I might want to pick that out myself. But I do need workout pants.
Workout pants, but you'll have to pick that out yourself.
But I would prefer to pick that out myself.
All right. We'll let you do that.
Yeah, because, there's materials and things. If you guys get the wrong material.
Yeah, no, you're definitely picking that out yourself. Now, I know I'm usually allowed to get you one white shirt from Target.
Proved.
Size medium.
Let me think. I have gray, I got black.
I'm allowed to get you one Good Threads shirt.
Yeah, what's your brand?
Called?
No, it's
Is it Good Threads?
Is it Good Threads? Goodwill? No, it's not Goodwill. What is it
What's
called?
What's the Target brand?
Goodfellas? I think it's called Goodfellas. Goodfellas?
I'm allowed to get you
I don't know, it's one of those things.
Good something brand from Target.
Yeah, whatever the good brand is.
Medium.
Scoop
neck. Crew neck.
Crew
not
neck, right.
V.
Not
I'm allowed to get you that.
V-neck. Yeah, I'm not total.
So that's like $5. Like right now I'm at like $25.
Okay, I love and you can, I mean, if there's another color, maybe.
No, we don't
okay.
We don't even
I'm pretty good on the colors right now. I do like the chips that you guys get me.
Route 11.
Route 11.
I'm allowed to get you chips. See, right now we're at coffee, potato chips, and one white shirt from Target.
And
Happy birthday.
And the workout pants.
And workout pants that you pick yourself out.
Yes.
And then the cats always get you a gift.
Yeah, the cat, and that I've acquiesced.
That's the surprise.
You could get anything on that, and I'll be.
The cats get it. I don't know what they're going to get you.
Right.
They go shopping.
Yeah, right
they write you a card.
We have, Captain Shrimpy's. What is that? Scratch post.
Target has. You guys, I don't know if you guys know this, or if your Targets carry these things, but they have the funniest scratching posts or scratching.
Yeah.
Things for your cats.
Yeah.
We have Captain Shrimpy's food truck.
Right. It's right there in the living room, but it's not an eyesore. Not an eyesore.
But they always have like a Halloween one. So they might get you the Halloween themed scratcher. They do need a new one.
This year, if you guys come, I mean, like, what did I get? That fall y'all sign last year or something 2 years ago?
2 years ago, we just got you,
this fall y'all or something?
Yeah, like we got you like basic
fall. Yeah, what was it?
Basic fall birthday.
Basic fall birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys want to get me like a pumpkin candle,
we always get you a candle.
Fine.
We're allowed to get you a candle.
You can make a candle.
But that's it. If we do one thing off list, it becomes a bad day.
No, well, this one's going to be really bad. And I'm going to tell you why.
Tell us.
I feel it coming.
Yeah.
Because it's on the 22nd. I'm going to tell everyone my birthday.
He tells you every year.
Don't do anything, like take out a credit card in my name or anything like that, because they have the information. Because they have my information.
They need more than that.
Yeah, well, you told me like someone stole my information or something.
Oh, yeah,
I'm on the national steal list or something. I'm on the stolen list.
Yeah, you're part of that.
You're
part of that info breach.
I'm part of the info breach. Yes.
That was a fun morning. Yeah. I'm like, Scott, guess what?
You're on the info breach.
The one that they keep talking about.
Can you change every single password you have and put 7? You know how hard it is for me to get onto my bank account now? I got to do 7 things, remember 8 passwords, and then I can get on. But
that's
all right.
Okay.
Anyway.
Continue. It's going to be extra bad year.
It feels bad because it's the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Mothman Festival in West Virginia.
I know.
That's number 1.
You've always wanted to go.
I did.
Now, you could just go.
I know. It's far. And
okay.
How are we going to get there?
We're flying into Ohio and driving into the West Virginia.
I know. And then I could listen to Coast to Coast at night.
Yeah. So that's one. But you're your own enemy. Like, these things could happen, but you always say no. All right.
Yeah,
now,
so that's a big one.
2.
So I'm going to know that the Mothman Festival is going on my birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm not there.
I know.
Then there's the Sing Out Loud Festival, which I've already discussed on this podcast with Noah Khan. That Bree has been dying to go.
She's dying to go.
She told me the other day, I'd rather go to that, and I think I said this already, than Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So that's on my birthday.
Which, again, we could go. It's 4 hours away. It's in St. Augustine. We could go, but you refuse to go to a festival.
Well, yeah, and I talked
You
about
refuse.
I talked about festivals.
And even I said, I'll go with her. Like, and then you're like, but it's my birthday. So I don't know. We're at a standstill.
So I'm going to be...
Like, you could just drop me and her off, and we'll go to the festival.
I feel...
And then you're like, no, because it's your birthday.
I feel like
So
a failure.
I don't know.
I'm a failure. I feel...
This is my life in September.
It's Victor Blue. I'm Victor Blue.
It's just what we deal with. So
yeah.
September 22nd.
I failed you. I failed the kids. I failed everyone.
TBA. We're all going to meet at a bar for his favorite bar, like in the quiz, for his birthday.
You guys are all invited.
I think everyone's invited.
You're all invited.
Well, just got to pick a place.
Yeah, we got to pick a place. It's probably not going to be the place I want, so you guys pick the place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you guys pick.
Okay.
You pick for me.
Somewhere, with a drink special, right?
Yes. Just give me a screwdriver.
Happy hour apps.
Yeah.
Something reasonable.
Right.
Not cheap, reasonable.
Yeah, I want the, what's the cheap vodka? Give me cheap vodka.
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. Yeah, that I'm not talking about.
All right. Well, on that note, this podcast is for you and about you, and we're so glad you spent some time with us today.
Hello, podcast fans. If you're looking for a new podcast, if you enjoy articles, books, pop culture, and hilarity, try listening to the Brain Candy Podcast.
That's right. The Brain Candy Podcast has over 500 episodes of educational hilarity to satiate your learning needs. Just search for the Brain Candy Podcast on your podcast app or click the link in the show notes.